not sure.
I have the sound off.
Then why'd you say I think?
Because I'm not sure.
So, is there a camera on us?
Not yet. Not until I switch over to the other one.
To the what other?
The in-game menu.
Did you change the name and all that?
Yes, that's what I was trying to do. Something up.
Okay.
I can see if we can be heard. So I can pull up our thing.
It's 8:01. What are you doing? Are you messing?
I am adding the fixing the tags. Okay, so far no sound has come through here, so I think we're still muted, which is good. That's great. Good news. It means it worked. Or it means I have my volume down. Okay, no sound's coming through. Alright. Let's pull up Twitch. And we're about to go live.
Do we get to see a camera? Get to see a camera. Okay. Are you going to play music at all, or are we just going to let the fan be our music tonight?
I'll play some music.
It's up to you.
Music.
But you've got to turn that off, or you're going to have screeching, and it's awful. Thank you. I was like, sweetie.
I always forget about that.
I know. I don't understand how you can forget about it. As soon as it starts happening, I'm like, must kill it. Must kill it. You can't hear me.
What kind of music would you like?
Something that's not distracting.
Just distracting.
I don't know. I think background music, you're going to have it so loud to hear over the fan that it's going to be distracting. Like, I think you want music you're going to actually be able to slightly hear.
So what kind of music would you like?
I'm too hot to think about this. Are you feeling any of the fan, or is my fat ass blocking all of it?
I'm not feeling any of the fan.
Notice you didn't answer the rest of it.
Because I am not an idiot.
You're like, I've been married for 15 plus years.
15 million years.
That's a little loud, by the way. Do I have hair sticking out? I totally have hair sticking out. Maybe. I can't tell.
I am hair sticking up.
You are hair sticking out?
That's my natural being state. Hello to everybody out there. Yes, we're here. We're mostly on time.
The internet's mostly working, baby.
We'll
Knock
see.
on some wood. That's close enough to wood.
It's ish. It's woodish.
It's wood-ish. It's wood light. Wood light. Alright.
Wood Light is much better than Bud Light.
I wouldn't know. I've tried Bud Light before. That was a bad day.
It tells you something. I'd rather eat wood than drink Bud Light. So is pond water. Indeed. Indeed it is.
Hi, Oscar Wolf. How you doing? I don't know. It just smells like pee.
It tastes what I assume like pee tastes like too.
I love that you're like old enough to not get caught in that you taste of pee trap.
Right.
Right.
I've been caught a few times.
Yeah, that's not gonna work because we're not gonna be able to see the stream.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I don't know what you're doing here.
I don't know. Sometimes you like the camera.
I do like to be able to see the camera periodically, but I definitely want to see the chat. And this chat is bigger than that other chat. Like, why do we have two screens? I'm very confused.
This one is the actual Twitch thing, so you can see if anything's going wrong with it on Twitch.
Oh, well then.
But actually, I can do that on the phone on the other.
You confuse me a lot.
You found the dumbest tree while out on a walk an hour ago?
Okay. Now, how does...
How is a tree dumb?
Right. Like, that was my question. He stole it. Stolen.
Alright, I'll go look that up here in a bit.
What are you doing?
I'm looking up the dumb tree. It's important to the conversation, though.
It is, but you said, like, I'm going to look at it a little bit, and then all of a sudden you did. I was like,
The
what?
tree has pants.
Let me see it. The tree...
Why does the tree have pants? Are these like cryptid pants? Are they like the Fresno Nightwalker pants? Or Nightcrawler pants?
I have so many questions about that tree. Like, in Kansas, I would just assume that, if I saw that here, I would just assume that the wind was blowing hard enough that it literally blew someone's pants off. Like, that would be my... Yes, I've got something in the mail, but I was going to wait and make sure that everybody had a chance to, like, come in, because it's super cool.
Everybody who's going to be here is here.
Okay.
And then we'll do it.
Right, well, that's fair, but, like, oh, you didn't mean, like, this.
I was finishing your
Right.
thoughts.
I'm gonna... I've got it ready. Thank you for reminding me, though, because if I hadn't had it ready, I'd want to. You didn't post the dumb tree? Oh, so the dumb tree was not the pants tree?
That's saying something.
Oh, my. Because, again, if I saw that in Kansas, I would just assume that the wind blew somebody's pants right off, and then they got caught in a tree.
Or somebody was really friggin' drunk.
Maybe, but I'd be more up for the wind. The wind is really...
Sent me a message.
What?
That's not it. Stupid phone.
What are we listening to?
Charisma.com.
Doesn't sound like Charisma.com.
I'll tell you.
Just turn it off when we get the fan. It's too much noise.
Alright.
I don't
That
know
is
if
a
you
dumb
guys...
tree.
What? I like the... I thought you were turning it off. I like the little
I can do one
spike.
thing at a time.
What is the little... Is that little spike part of that tree?
I think it might be.
The tree...
That is a
The tree
dumb
you already posted was also dumb.
But the one that was already posted had pants, which is not a thing you see on trees very often, so it was a special kind of dumb. Versus one that just seems to be somewhat broken but still holding on, which really is kind of should be an inspiring message for everybody.
Right, that fits right in with this whole thing going on. Wow, now I feel sad, Nate. Thanks.
Existential tree!
No, we're not doing that. That's not happening this time. No more. Stop it. Bite your tongue, bleed a little, drink it, move on.
Speaking of existential dread, now we're getting straight up like goth.
So I thought we were going to have the screen, and you covered the screen entirely.
Do you want me to draw or do you want to look at the screen?
We were... Oh, you're usually on your iPad, and that's why I can see the screen. Oh, I don't know. So let us know, guys, if at some point you can't see things, because I have absolutely no idea what you're seeing. Yeah. So, anyway. I don't know if you guys remember, but a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about... No, you've got noise on. That's bad. Okay. Oh, that doesn't help at all.
You know
That's less than helpful. Okay. So, anyway, I don't know if you guys remember, but we were talking about masks, and plague masks came up, like plague doctor masks. And my friend Janet was watching, and she is amazing and talented. And she sent me this in the mail. She says it's a simple draft of a thing she was thinking about. And then she asked if I was interested in more of this. And let me tell you, I don't know how well you can see this, but fuck yeah, I'm interested in more of this. Look at this cool ass thing! Look at this! And I have to report, like, my glasses, this is the first mask I put on in this entire effing thing. My glasses, what?
Look at the light.
I'm looking at the light. I have, but I turned so people can see it from the side because you want to see all of it. This is the first time that I put on a mask in, like, I don't know, months, and my glasses haven't fogged up. And look at this. No fog. Mask. No fog. So cool. So anyway, I'm really excited, and we just got this because I think the mail is really slow. So I have to respond to Janet if she's not watching. But is this not the coolest thing ever?
But
And
Janet,
it was exactly what we were talking about.
Janet, if you're watching, it's the coolest thing ever.
It's so cool. And then Dane was like, you know, in this form, I kind of want to paint it, and it kind of looks like a dinosaur face. And so I see that too. Like, I don't know if it looks like a dinosaur when it's on me. Dane, I'm just gonna like wander in this and like hold it on me. I think I just want to go to Walmart and just do this.
What do you guys think? Do you think it looks like a dinosaur?
I don't know. So Dane thinks dinosaur. I just think cool as shit. And also, my glasses aren't fogged.
It does kind of look like the...
Turn that off. It's making noise.
Turn the volume all the way down.
I don't know. Just turn it off completely, and then it won't make noise at me because it's distracting. But yeah. Anyway, so that's what we got in the mail, and I think it's cool as shit. And I was really, really excited when it came. Like, it was the best thing. So thank you very much, Janet. If you're watching, if not, I'm gonna text you later. Which you don't. You're not watching. You don't. I'm gonna do it either way. But yeah. Oh my gosh. So, how are you guys doing? How are things? How's life?
How's life in the outside?
I don't know if I believe in life in the outside anymore. So, I'm not really sure about this cotton yarn.
I also am not sure about this cotton yarn. Screw this cotton yarn. Screw it to hell.
Mowed the front. Wow! Holy hell!
That is busy. Wow.
All the mowing and everything. That's more than we've been up to, let me tell you.
You lit some shit on fire yesterday.
I did light some shit on fire yesterday. That was sort of fun. I like my little fire chimney. If I get that going hot, I can burn like anything in it.
You didn't get them till 11 a.m. and then you managed to get both yards mowed and one of the beds put together?
That's a lot. I worked on getting our mailing area organized.
Oh, yeah.
We had to hide all of it, like just shove it all in quarters because we were painting the hallway, and it's in a built-in in the hallway. So now Dane finished painting the hallway, so I'm trying to put it back together, but better.
Whatever it takes.
I mean, anything that helps you get stuff done, I guess. Like, motivation is motivation at this point. Dane and I had to talk about that. I don't know about y'all, but, like, it's hard. Like, shit is real. It's hard to get stuff done.
Existential dread coming in.
No, none of that. Just basic hardness, then, oh, wow.
Life is hard. Existentially difficult.
No, stop it. I was avoiding dishes, but I did some right before the we started this.
I also did.
Reloaded our dishwasher and stuff. Well, Dane was out at Starbucks trying to convince them to make our tea order.
Turns out that was harder than it needed to be.
We literally just wanted them to pour the tea into cups and give it to us. Like, we wanted no water, no sugar, no ice. Like, just pour the tea into cups and give it to us. So we'll go home and add ice and do all that and just use it for a while. Apparently they lost half, so they tried to hand him only one of the teas, and then it had ice in it. Yeah.
It was pretty special.
They were having a hard time. But you know what? They were there and running the drive-thru, and I've been jonesing for Starbucks teas, so we haven't had it in like 3 months. So I'm grateful that they were willing to do it.
It's in Chicago, really.
Oh my gosh! And did we have tea in Chicago, or did we just go coffee because it was
cold.
so damn cold? Oh my gosh, guys! Like, Chicago's always cold when we go, but it was real cold. I was glad we took our coats.
Don't tell the hosts. Which hosts?
But
I don't
know. She's sneaking in the existential dread.
Oh, we're not supposed to know about it.
No, I didn't read it.
Turns out we can see the chat.
Sometimes we even look at it. The only thing you get from Starbucks is the matcha frappuccino. Dane's had that. I've got friends that are obsessed with their matcha, I feel like. I don't like it. I like green tea, like regular green tea, like the kind that you have the cup and the water and the tea bag, that green tea. I don't like matcha. It just, I don't know.
She has feelings.
It's partially the flavor and partially the feel of it in the mouth. Like, I don't mind I think if it was just the flavor and hot water, it'd be fine. But then you get those flakes, and it's like, why is there grass in my? I just don't.
I often think, why is there grass when I'm drinking tea?
Regular
grass?
Regular tea is fine. You like matcha in general, cold, and in candy, and in cookies. See, maybe in cookies. I might be able to do it in cookies. Okay, can you scroll up, because I've something instead of coffee, and I'm already offended. McDonald's gave you hot water instead of coffee once, so we're not even... That doesn't even surprise... So, like, I worked at McDonald's when I was a kid. Yeah, I worked all through high school at a McDonald's. And the same McDonald's I worked in, on one of my days off, I went in with my parents and I got an iced tea, and it tasted really bad. Like, the worst thing I've ever tasted. And I was like, guys, what did they do? Like, I know how, it's tea bags, and you just... And I went up and I was like, guys, there's something wrong with that tea. Like, and the manager was like, what do you mean? Like, what are you I was like, no, like, I work here. I know what the tea tastes like. I drink the tea all the time. Like, don't serve that to people. Have you been serving that to people? There's something wrong with it. Like, did they put coffee in it? What did they do? And she goes and she's like, I'm going to go look at it. Because she had one of the other girls, and I'm like, it's tea. I don't know. And so she went and looked at it. She came out. She's like, how much of that did you drink? And her eyes are big. And I was like, oh, fuck, no. What did they do? And she's like, I think it just got left. Because sometimes we would make extra tea. Because when it was busy, you didn't want to take the time to brew it all, right? Like, it took a time to water it down and everything. And it had just gotten left, and nobody had noticed. And it had mold floating in the top of it. Yeah. But she was just like, oh my god, don't sue us. But she didn't apologize.
Don't sue us or you're fired.
Like, she was... McDonald's is a special place. So anyway, I'm completely unsurprised that they gave you hot water instead of coffee, and then weren't apologetic about it.
I'm a little surprised. It is Canada.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, but that's why you don't go to... I don't know. I don't go to McDonald's in Canada. I don't go to McDonald's here very often either, so... You love the straw. Oh, you guys have matcha things to say. I don't know about any of
Matcha stories.
See, like, that's on brand for McDonald's. It is. Yeah. She was just like, also, do you want to come in for a few extra hours? And I was like, no.
You're like, I'm literally here with my parents and you tried to poison me.
But sure, I could borrow a disgusting, smelly shirt from the back and work some minimum wage hours. Yeah. Oh, goodness. This is working out kind of. I mean, it's not soft, but it's an organic cotton.
It's not soft.
It might soften up nice, with wear, though. It won't itch.
That'd be nice.
I don't know. Okay. We've had Thai tea mix, but we don't have it doesn't have the sugar in it. It's good, but it's not as good as just getting Thai iced tea from places.
Places.
Right.
In Dodge City, Kansas.
Oh my god, that's still the best place, but there are other places, like...
Shenanigans. Name one.
We used to go, so there was a Thai place, Thai Rose, I think, in Beaverton. We would get, on nights when we were setting up, like when we were messing with con stuff and trying to get ready for the con and gonna leave early the next morning, we would order, like, each get a Thai iced tea and then order a couple of orders of salad rolls, because you could throw salad rolls. Salad rolls, by the way, are great things to throw in your backpack if you're going to be, God knows, and you don't know when, and you don't know what things are going to be open, and you don't know if you're going to have time to eat at various stops in the airport.
Or ever again.
Right, so we would order a couple of salad roll things to go and just each get one in our backpack. The vegetarian ones, because tofu is fine, but I don't know. I would worry if it got too hot that like shrimp or something might start to stink and might be bad for you. But then we'd have the Thai iced tea, because that sugar rush sometimes was the only thing that got me to continue packing those trunks.
Truth.
Do what you gotta do.
We have band name talk going on.
Oh no. Quarantines. I feel like the Quarantines would be a really cute, like 50s, what were those bands? The ones where the trio or the foursome where they would all harmonize and...
Like a doo-wop group?
Yes, the Quarantines, come on. That's the cutest Quarantine group. But the songs need to be a little bit sarcastic. Actually, that'd be a great, like, doo-wop group now. Acapella group, come on, somebody needs to do that, have some sarcastic songs about it, maybe make fun of the president and his lack of doing shit. Like, come on, that'd be a great little, like, and they all dress up looking super cute in
and
like
post-apocalyptic.
I was gonna say full hazmat, but whichever.
Oh, that works.
What doesn't kill you probably gives you salmonella. I think, like, so after I worked at McDonald's, I didn't get sick for like 2 or 3 years. But like I would do the extra hours. I was that kid, right? So they would call and be like, "Oh my god, we have like a district person coming in. Can you scrub the corners behind the ice machine? You know, like can you do the deep cleaning in the places that we never look, or like under that counter where we've been letting the orange juice just leak for 3 years?" And I lived.
Everybody has that corner.
At McDonald's, I think they do. I never worked at a McDonald's that didn't have some of that. Just, like, there was always something that they just didn't show anyone. And it was mostly fine. But yeah, I wasn't sick for like a couple of years after that. I think I'd been exposed to literally anything that could possibly harm you. Whoa. Dane takes away the chat, and then I'm like trying to read it, and I can't.
Those chats for you.
I know, it's mean. Somebody held a message. Oh no. Who got in trouble? Hecate, what did you do? It thought you were being rude.
But I fixed it.
I know, like the mayonnaise based stuff, like, yeah, I don't know. The mayonnaise stuff out in the sun, like, that's a particularly Midwest way of making sure that nothing can kill your kids, I think.
Like, making sure you do it first.
Right, like, I still have nightmares about fishing trips with, like, bologna and cheese sandwiches with mayonnaise on them, just with no cooler, just hot, sun warmed. Oh, so gross, and not good bologna. Not like
slightly congealed bologna.
Right, like I enjoy a good bologna.
Cheese that doesn't melt for
like,
whatever reason in the heat.
Oh no, that stuff did in Midwest car heat. Yeah, like I enjoy a good boar's head bologna, but this was not that. This was not even like an Oscar Mayer name brand bologna. This was.
Is it Sites?
The ones that would come out with different like the pack, you could see where like they'd started to put whatever else differently. So like halfway through the pack, the color would change.
The Sites.
Oh,
it was pretty.
So like instead of being the hot pink, now you have like the gray halfway through the pack for no reason.
This shit's gray bologna.
Oh Lord. Miracle Whip's better than actual mayonnaise though, if you're gonna have it out in the heat. Because Miracle Whip is basically just oil, I think. I don't know that it's actually made of eggs.
Buried beef and pork.
Buried beef bites.
I have questions about the buried beef.
We have so many like, I'm scared to ask the question though because I'm afraid you'll answer and I will be horrified. Just so we have everything straight, I'm a little terrified all the way around. Okay. We take a loaf of white bread, turn them all into PB&J sandwiches, and put them back in the bag. A few hours in the
Yeah, we used to do that.
Yep.
Putting them back in the bag is the best way to store them.
It's the only way. You wouldn't want to waste a Walmart bag on that.
I love the idea of wasting a Walmart bag.
I knew you would. That's why I said it.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Oh, see, I love that. That sounds great. Like, I thought about doing that here, except meat's getting expensive, so I probably can't afford to. We should do that here.
Should. We got a whole yard.
We do have a whole yard.
We could put in, like, beef pits all over the place.
Or just one so we know where it is and I don't fall in it.
I guess.
Like, we haven't been to the store in a while. Like, it's getting pretty bad. I'm terrified.
Meat treasure map, exactly. Just bury it out in the yard. Kind of like draw up a map, come back and find it later.
It seems like something we should do in our front yard just to freak people out. You know, and I've been reading these stories about people, like pork producers are like, oh, we're going to have to euthanize the pigs. And I'm like, just sell me the whole pig. I'm fine with that.
Sell it to me. Give me the pig. Sell
Like,
it to me.
just sell me the whole pig cheap. You don't have to euthanize it. You don't have to deal. Just sell me the pig. Dane can handle it. It'll be fine.
I like how it became my job all of a sudden.
To make it into a dead pig, yes. Taking a live pig and turning it into a dead pig is your job. I'll take the whole.
For the live pig?
And I'll make the fire.
One of us is not having an equal job here.
I'm good at making fire. Like, real good.
The assumption being that I am good at pig murder.
I mean, you win some, you lose some, day.
I think we should do that in the front yard.
It should definitely be done in the front yard. Oh my gosh.
Skinny pig? Was it actually a guinea pig? Her mom keeps a cow most of the time.
Not anymore. Used to, though.
She used to. And she always named it after whatever. So, like, the last one I remember was named T-Bone.
She had T-bone, she had steak, she had hamburger, she had... I don't remember what the others were. But yeah, they were all named after what they were going to be. They had names to aspire to. But she said it also was a great tool for helping the grandkids figure out, like, these are not pets.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, people have problems, but, like, you know, they were happy until they were not.
They're happy until they were no longer able to be.
Good. See, I think, like, that would be awesome, actually. Like, Dean, I think, would love to get a part-time job at a butcher, like a real butcher shop, just to get all that practice and learn all the extra knife skills and stuff.
It's been a while since I've rendered an entire animal down to its constituent parts.
I actually could do, like, that wouldn't be a terrible job. I could do it. Yeah, I think I come from a whole line of farmers, so it's not where you thought I was going.
She knows you too well.
I don't know. I think that, honestly, like, we are definitely meat eaters. I come from a long line of farmers and stuff, too, but I just think, like, if you're going to eat meat, like, it's not bad to know where it comes from. And it's not bad to ensure that, you know, it's a happy cow, living its life.
Until it's not.
Like, that's awesome. Yep. What kind of cuts do you want? I will have all of it.
All of the cuts?
Give me all of my half, every single bit. Oh my gosh, we've been getting, before this whole mess, for a while, the only thing you could find out here, I mean, it wasn't before, but it was at the beginning of this whole mess, about the only meat you could find in the store out here was hams.
Yeah, like whole hams.
So we were just like, alright, so we just were purchasing hams, and Dane was cutting them down. But we'd end up with the bone and a lot of offcuts. So I made ham stock.
Hot ham water.
It's really good on rice.
It is.
Highly recommend just making your rice in the rice maker with a bunch of the ham stock. It's good on greens, all that. Came out real nice. Basically anything I've ever tried to make with a pig turned out okay.
Because pigs are delicious.
Yep. You've been crushing the takeout at the local raw vegan restaurant, right?
It's true.
I don't know that we have a vegan restaurant here.
I'm pretty certain that we don't.
We've been having trouble here because restaurants we would like to partake in have opened up, and
Like full open?
that's not a thing that I'm gonna be a part of because I've read the studies and I don't actually want to die. So, sitting in a restaurant's how you get the COVID.
One of the ways.
Yeah, well.
It is a very efficient way of doing it.
Which reminds me, I'm gonna go check our food because I don't think we'll hear it from here.
Not with the fan on.
Yep. Okay, I'll be right back.
She'll be back.
Don't threaten people, it's not nice.
Now's the time. Everybody get your memes. I don't know what that means, but you know, do it anyway. Fresh hot memes, get them here. I'm not giving them away though. You have to get your own. We put some, what are they called? Bao. Some steam bao in the rice cooker right before the thing. So we weren't waiting until 10 p.m. or so to eat. Well, be closer to like 11 by the time we got off and then got food done. So basically, we were smart this time. Ooh, Cheerios. I like Cheerios. I feel like Cheerios is one of the classiest breakfast cereals. Unless you're getting like the apple cinnamon Cheerios or the frosted Cheerios. Because they're good for you as cereals are. Well, that was weird. I said they're good for you as cereals are, and my phone turned on and wanted me to talk to it. Yeah, that'll do it. If you actually want to enjoy your food, never read the ingredients or the calorie count. That's my motto.
But.
What?
But.
What? Chicken butt.
I don't know. What did I miss?
We were talking about cereal.
Why don't you eat chorizo anymore?
Wait, what? Oh, because you're reading the ingredients list.
Oh.
Chorizo's delicious.
Yum. I eat anything. I don't care.
It's true, she doesn't.
I don't know if you've ever watched The Bizarre Foods with Andrew Zimmern.
The Bizarre Foods.
The Bizarre Foods. We used to watch that. And we'd be like,
If your food has horse shit in it, don't eat it though.
mm-mm. No, that concerns me a little. But for the most part, I'll try anything.
I think we can safely say that if it has poop in the ingredients list, it's not for food.
But I'm cool with sausage because somebody's got to make use of all that stuff.
Sausage isn't poop.
No. Chorizo is sausage, though.
Oh, that's true.
Like,
You're bringing it back, I see.
I am. It's a good thing to make use of all that stuff. Sausage with cheese in the center is the best of the worst.
So I've never been able to find it, but when I was a kid, they used to have hot dogs with chili in the middle. They were the best things ever. They were. If I ate them now, they'd probably be horrible. But when I was a kid, man, hot dogs with chili in the middle, and you just heat it up, and it was boom, chili dog, perfect.
The best of the worst. I see what you did there.
I really wish I had like a soundboard so I could cue up things like wah, 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 whenever a bad pun is made in the chat.
So Dane, what plane are you working on?
Stuka Dive Bomber. I'm sure it's got a number. I don't know what it is.
So we just carried one bomb.
Looks like. I like that it looked like from the reference picture I found. It looked like it carried one bomb on a paper clip. A 2D one.
Because that's the thing. Like, we've been to a lot of Air and Space museums, but I don't know that very many of them actually show the things with, like, the bombs hooked up.
Well, this one being a bomber, I felt like it should.
I'm cool with that.
A lot of the fighter planes will have, like, their, like, torpedoes or missiles attached to them. Damn it.
Let's cut up with bagel dogs. We used to wrap the, we used to get the can croissants, and we'd wrap hot dogs in the croissants.
Those are pretty good.
That's the thing I did a lot as a kid. Sometimes hot dogs and cheese in the croissants.
So when you're being fancy.
Yum. You're being fancy, but they'll eat it in that thing.
I said cheese.
Haha. Rude. We called them pig in a blankets.
Is that the correct plural for that, or should it be pigs in a blanket? Or pigs in blankets, like attorneys general?
I grew up in the Midwest. We called them pig in a blankets.
Even singular ones?
Probably.
We don't need none of your fancy grammar up in here. Like having the sausage. Oh, you mean like Vienna sausage?
Uh-oh, what? Canned sausage is great.
She loves Vienna sausages.
I don't love it, but...
Loves them.
Shut up. I haven't eaten them in years. It freaks him out, but yeah, I grew up eating them. Or like potted meat products. Yeah.
Oh.
But you do have to get like the name brand stuff on that. The non-name brand stuff is not... There's too many bone shards.
You want the good stuff. The good canned meat.
Right. But again, I grew up believing, like, if it's good, you eat it, first of all. Second of all, like, if it freaks you out that there are parts of an animal that you're eating, then maybe you should think about not eating the animal. I don't know.
My worry is that there are things in there that aren't parts of an animal.
Nah. All the stuff that was a little bit like sand in your mouth was just bone shards.
Delicious bone shards.
But that's why you get the name brands. You don't have bone shards. Yeah, I know.
See, I love spam. We have spam in the cabinet. I'm like really kind of wanting to make it. I want spam and eggs.
It's called a meat product because it's a product of meat. It's delicious. Yeah, I don't know. I would eat it. But like when I was in college, that stuff was cheap enough. Like get a can of that and some saltines and some easy cheese, and I'd have like a meal or two.
See, I can't eat packaged like the top ramen type stuff. It makes me sick. Like it actually makes me ill. I don't know why.
I wonder though, like we've had it since like in Chinatown. Like that place in New York would give you that and then like a pastry for breakfast.
That's true.
And
Maybe I
you're
could do it now.
fine.
I mean, yeah, that's basically what it means.
That's probably true with the chicken. I don't know. Like, again, I'm not. I don't know. I'm okay. Like the entire idea of sausage is fine with me. Like I'm not bothered. So
I like sausage.
right.
I'm just weirded out by canned meat product because it smells weird.
It's super salty. I do notice that more now than I did as a kid. I have that problem with spam too, though.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. And that way you can control what parts you use.
Yeah.
I used to grind my own hamburger because I could control which parts I was using and the fat content more or less.
Because he'd add bacon fat to it.
Yeah.
I'd love to make my own chocolate from the bean. I think that would be cool. I keep looking, I haven't found it yet. I really want one of the, we've got a KitchenAid, and I want one of the old metal grinders that used to go on the KitchenAid attachments. We've been looking at estate sales, because the new ones you get are all plastic, and we have one of those, but it's just not as good. So
It gets warm faster, which is not a thing you want when you're grinding meat.
and it's just not. I mean, all of the KitchenAid attachments aren't as high quality now as they used to be.
Back in my day.
They're all made of plastic. The old ones were made of metal, and they lasted a lot longer. Like, Dane's had to replace his bread hook. We need to replace the other thing that we use for cookies because the enamel comes off of them.
Yeah, my paddle attachment is starting to chip, which is not ideal.
Excuse me while I eat.
No.
I don't think these are close to the other ones.
Which ones? As good as which other ones?
Ones we used to get.
Ones we got in Oregon?
Probably. I think they're fine.
They had a couple different brands.
We should double check what brand it is and get a different one.
Okay.
Yeah. So beyond mowing the lawn
Mowing the lawn.
and taking pictures of stupid trees,
With pants.
what are y'all up to lately?
Gardening.
Woohoo! Gardening! We planted some potatoes in a couple of those buckets that you dropped off at our house. We'll see how that goes.
Buckets.
Since we have to segregate everything we plant from the actual ground in our yard.
That sounds weird.
It does, but I think that anything that touches that earth except weeds is gonna die.
Listening to children poorly retell my stories in the game or narrative telephone.
Thanks. I hope that we did it right. We're gonna see.
The herbs seem to be hanging on. The mint is going crazy. It's great. The rest of them
Was it
are
mint
a
or
little
dill?
No, the dill are the small ones, I think. The big one is mint.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure. The big one was mint, right? Yeah, see, that's right.
I'm super excited for that. Like, I'm also tempted to start watching for spare wood and just start making some ugly ass planter boxes.
Spare wood.
Now I'm wishing we got rid of a bunch of old stuff, like cabinets and shit, when we first moved in, and now I'm wishing that we just not, and I could tear them apart and reuse them.
Oh man, we could have taken the doors off and boom, planter bed.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yup.
Why didn't we think of that before?
Because I thought we were actually going to be doing stuff in the summer.
What? That's silly.
That's from your giant invasive mint plant?
Well, it's going gangbusters in our room by the door.
We should plant that somewhere where we want something to go crazy that we like.
We should. Like over there in that flower bed where nothing else is growing. Ooh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never mind.
That wouldn't have worked because the cabinets we had out in the garage were gross.
They were, oh my god, so somebody smoked out in that garage so much.
For 900 years.
It reeked. It reeked really bad. So, never mind. That would have been terrible.
Like I got a bit of a high from the nicotine, just holding, like just grabbing those things and moving them out to the curb.
It was so gross. It really was. People came and got them all though. It's weird when you're like, "Hey, this is free." They're like, "Cool," and they'll just take it. And you're like,
Like, these are gross, right? I don't care.
I felt bad, but not bad enough to like.
Stop them.
I took it.
Yeah, I want to get some clover seeds.
I don't know if our bunnies could handle it if we actually grew clover.
Oh my god, the bunnies in our backyard would go crazy if we put clover out there. We would have the best yard.
They're so used to us by now. Like, they literally, while I was burning stuff yesterday, like, literally had things on fire with large flames. And the bunny's over there in the dirt patch just washing his face. And then laying down and hanging out with us. He's like a pet I don't have to clean up after. It's great.
The bunny? I don't think we've named the bunny yet.
I call him Buns.
I mean, yeah. Rabbits do make for great stew. I would feel bad about eating these ones though, because they're not smart enough to run away.
They trust us. I got one of yours for stew? Cool. I'd take you up on it. I'd eat it.
But you have to kill it and bring it to us. I'm missing some stream.
You're missing some what?
There's obviously the back of the house. My dad's working. Rudy is on it.
Oh no, it ate some of your plants already? Well, if Rudy takes care of it, throw it in the freezer. We'll take it. Like, if you can get it before he actually eats it.
Therein lies the rub.
I mean...
I like that we're sitting here on stream, like, plotting the murder of neighborhood rabbits.
They're not our neighborhood rabbits, they're her neighborhood rabbits.
That's fair.
It's fine. We're just saying waste not, want not. That's all we're saying.
I don't know if you'd want to eat a rabbit this time of year, though. Like a wild rabbit. This time of year, they're covered in parasites.
I mean, you clean it and cook it all the way through. It's not like you're going to eat it rare. I would scorch the outside pretty good, though.
There are any game wardens watching? We're not talking about actually killing rabbits. It's fine.
I'm not planning to hunt rabbits in the city. At all. Although I gotta say, like, if meat becomes as difficult to come by as we've been told,
Yeah, it's fair.
maybe we want to all have a rabbit hutch.
That's not a bad idea.
Maybe we do. I'm just imagining letting that grass with the back of our yard grow long enough that we
Dog
could just
spice.
start baling it as hay.
That'd be fun.
Oh, well, see?
Dog spice is the best spice, girl.
Now I'm confused.
No,
I read it, I'm just confused. Like, no, it's here. And I'm like, I know.
What's confusing about dog spice?
That it's dog spice?
Because the dog killed it
Great.
and drooled on it, I assume.
Dogs have been hunting for humans for like a long time, yeah?
Yeah. Doesn't mean you can't have dog spice.
Like floor spice but hairier. That depends which floor.
What are you trying to say?
You're a hairy dude. It's true. Not my fault. Alright, try to add another color.
Add a color.
See how this goes.
Secret red. Does it have floor spice on it? Or dog spice?
What?
Ekite is making their world famous secret recipe $1 frozen pizza.
That's fair.
Or is it like secret recipe like Kung Fu Panda soup? Dog floor spice.
We ate
Delicious
so many of those
spiciness.
pizzas when we just were like starting out. Dane and I were dating and still in school.
It's true.
Yeah, and then when he was still in school and I was out, like so many of those pizzas. That was like our Friday and Saturday night.
It was.
Video games and
Frozen dollar pizzas.
woo-hoo.
Although they're like $1.50 here. The Totino's pizzas.
Oh no, 15 years later.
It's crazy.
They go up in price.
I mean, that's pretty fancy.
Did I just do this wrong?
You might have.
Are you being helpful?
Are you being helpful?
The answer is no. This would make great wash rag.
It's not too late.
It is too late.
It can
I don't want to make a
fulfill
wash
its destiny.
rag. I don't want to do that. No.
Fine. Deny its destiny. We are super talkative tonight.
We were for a minute. And we ended it on like bunny murder.
And floor spice.
Well, that is a place to end things, let me tell you.
I love the idea of a cat that's addicted to Sorreo Ranch.
Is food cheaper, that much cheaper in the States, or is it just that particular kinds of shitty food are cheap and you probably shouldn't eat them? Like, because we're not talking high quality frozen pizzas here.
This isn't DiGiorno's.
This isn't even like Red Baron or whatever. This is like the ones we used to get. I mean, and they weren't huge, but I mean,
is it because you guys have those taxes that say if you're going to eat shitty foods, you have to pay extra for it?
or maybe because like it's not quite as shitty because you have regulations saying, hey, we wouldn't feed that to our animals. We're certainly not going to let you feed that to our people. Although I will say too, like the shitty cheap food is much cheaper here in the Midwest than it was in like Oregon. I think. So there's also that. Like we're living in a really affordable part of the United States too. Except for like fruit. Fruit's more expensive here.
Fruit and meat. Which meats are expensive everywhere right
I was
now.
gonna say meat was cheaper when we first came. I think it's just gone up in price everywhere. But when we first came in, like moved here, like we were giggling over the price of the eggs.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, what?
I mean, you gotta do 2 trips. It's fine.
Like fruit and veg is pretty spendy here too. In the Midwest, like it was better on the coast. Better quality, cheaper.
Where they actually grow things.
Yeah, but you know, like when you live in Oregon, right next to Washington, apples are gonna be cheap.
And peaches. Cherries.
Cherries.
Citrus was expensive.
Yeah, it was so cheap in California. But it's weird because like I feel like we used to grow all that shit here, and a lot of it is all just big farming now. There's not as many of the CSAs and stuff, I don't think. Although we're finding some.
We have one in our neighborhood, normally.
Right. Well, he just started that because he couldn't go to the farmer's market. I hope he keeps it up, though.
I feel like they used to do an actual CSA, but he's like, we're not doing that this year.
Farmer's market requires me to get up
That is true.
and go out around people, and I'm not all about that.
It's true.
Your cat is like, you will give me the thing I want, or I will trip your ass and see if I can murder you in your sleep tonight.
If I trip you and it falls on the floor, I get it all.
Up to you, just reminding you. There are choices being made here.
You can share intentionally or unintentionally, but you will share. Every cat, like a lot of cats are super sweet until there's food on the offing.
Or something they want. I say that with love. I love cats. I miss cats. You know what cat I miss?
Oliver.
Yes, but I wasn't thinking about Oliver that time.
What? The musical?
No. I was thinking about Patrick.
Emily's cat?
Yep.
Yeah.
Pat.
Pat, the noisy cat.
He was so noisy. Very talkative. That's not the right one. Back. Okay.
I had one of those Facebook memories from when we had Pat. for that week or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It was the time when we tried the lamb bacon.
Mm-hmm.
And how the smell of cooking the lamb bacon was driving him crazy.
It's like, I will have it. It will be mine, oh yes.
I mean, it smelled like cat food. I can see why you would have gotten super excited about it.
Yeah, lamb bacon, it turns out it's not good.
It was the opposite of good.
That other bacon shit we tried around that time too, where those guys were like, "Oh, we have this special bacon," and we're like, "Why special?" And they're like, "Well, nobody's messed up bacon recently."
Yeah, it was like super hipster bacon, but it was not made of it had pork in it. I posted about it on my Facebook, and a friend of mine who was Jewish got really excited when I was like, "It's lamb bacon," and she was like, "Oh, does that mean it's kosher?" I'm like, "No, it's got lots of pork in it. It just tastes like crap." And she was very sad.
Right. But the guys that made it were literally trying to sell it to us as this thing.
Yeah.
And we're like, "But why?" And they're like, "Well, because nobody's done anything with bacon."
Yeah.
And we're like, "Because bacon's done."
They thought they could improve on bacon. I'm like, "You sad bastards."
Like, that's the most hipster thing I've ever heard of. Like, nobody's done anything with it recently, so I have to, like, fuck with it. It was fine. Bacon is fine. Bacon doesn't need your help, dude.
Like, they thought they could improve on bacon. I'm like, it's literally the perfect food.
Emu sausage, was it you? Do you think it was the emu, or do you think it was the sausage, like, the maker of the sausage?
It's like, 'cause I like emu.
I don't know that I've ever had emu. Because, like, for example, I've had both elk and buffalo sausage that was great, and then I've had really, really awful.
I've had a lot of different meats. Not always turned into sausage. Oh, yeah. If you take emu and try and treat it like, regular more meat, it's not going to work. You got to treat it special.
Really?
Yeah.
You can't treat it like chicken?
No. Emu is actually closer to beef than it is to chicken. It's more red meat. Yeah, you got to buy it dinner. It is a very fancy meat. So you got to buy a really nice dinner. But too many people make the mistake of taking emu or ostrich or any of those big birds and thinking, oh, it's like chicken. Let's make chicken sausage out of it. And then they don't realize that that's not going to work. And they ruin their meat, and it's sad.
Just in general, like, you can't think, oh, it's a bird, I can treat it like chicken, because you can't even treat turkey like chicken.
True.
This is turning out really huge.
Huge hat. Huge hat. Cat video.
Yay, cat video. It's a happy cat.
It's a happy cat. They usually have some turkeys in the freezer section of Fred Meyer. They're not as cheap during other parts of the year. At least they used to.
Like, God only knows now.
Back in the olden days.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the turkey.
She's not. Vacuum sealer would be sweet. I'm still sitting here with like plastic bags and a straw most of the time.
It works.
Sort of.
Most of the time.
Ish.
You would like someone else to cook you a turkey?
Well, come down here. I'll cook you a turkey.
I would be happy to cook you a turkey. Turkeys are super easy to cook.
Your vacuum sealer is camouflage? That makes sense. That makes sense. Totally does. Thanks, Fyra. Welcome to the thing. We got a new follower.
Hey, thank you.
Follower on Fyra. Fyra?
I like Fura.
Fyra's good.
I don't know, but I like the sound of it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. Does Minion have to be cooler now? Be cool. Everybody be cool.
There's a new person. Everybody be like, chill for a few minutes before they get scared. Give them a second to get relaxed.
Then we'll spring it on them. I don't know what. It'll be something though.
It will be
Okay.
sprung.
What?
But hopefully we can impart some knowledge for you to absorb. Feel free to ask any questions about what we're doing. I mean...
It's Fura. I like the...
Stay on topic.
We're not good at
What
that.
is that? What is the topic, really? The topic is whatever we're talking about at the moment.
So, Dane actually has quite a bit of experience in Illustrator, which is what he's using. So if you have any questions, he would love to talk about Illustrator. Other than that, feel free to just jump in and talk to us, because we just,
We just hang out and chat.
If there's anything else you have questions about, we're here to talk.
We will expand and expound on just about any topic you can think of. We were just talking about turkeys.
Mm-hmm. Are you the only person who watched anime Bleach? I don't think I've seen the anime. I've read a few of the mangas back, like, in the days.
I saw one or two episodes. They didn't make a whole lot of sense.
I mean,
So that didn't really capture me.
that fits.
Our chat stream is very helpful.
We're trying to avoid the existential dread today. Maybe once per week.
The existential dread is for the nights when I have to draw something or draw things that people ask me to draw instead of things I want to draw.
Which is Wednesday.
Yeah.
What? So, in general, like, you're doing this... What?
I was wondering where that came from. You'll start a separate list of existential dread requests.
Oh, no.
Excellent.
Oh, goodness. Well, that's a question, too. So Dane's working on this plane because it was a request from another friend of ours who liked his last plane. The Stuka Bomber. What other stuff would you guys like to see Dane drawing? Like, I know we've done some scientists. We are happy to have either. Are they alphabetical, chronological scientists? Are they planes? Are they something else?
There you go. For the dread.
Oh, for the dread. Well, of course. Not gonna escape that easily. I'm trying. I'm failing. And they won't let me escape the dread.
No one can escape the dread.
I'm ready to go pound some coffee, man.
Coffee is full of dread.
Coffee's delicious.
Is there any? Oh, hey, Aaron. I missed when Aaron showed up in the chat, so I was like, what?
Hello, Aaron.
She was very, like, we need you to come visit us so we can be that motivated.
But not that motivated.
Well,
I don't know that I want it. I was going to say,
I need to mow the whole yard and start up a new flower bed.
Not in one day.
That's a lot of work.
You can stand around and watch Jody do stuff at the best of them.
Well, apparently you're very good at it.
Yeah. I need that level of motivation.
Turns out I'm not as motivating as I could be.
Well, I'm trying to motivate. Like, I'm trying to go back in and convince myself to go finish the floors in the living room. But the gas works to take the stuff off the wood floors, but it also makes me sick and high, so it's hard to make myself do it.
Yeah, not in a fun way though, not high in a good way.
I don't know if I've ever been high in a good way.
Maybe it is a good way. You just don't know.
Maybe it's just not for me. I don't know.
Someday we'll find out.
I was dizzy and slightly sick to my stomach.
That doesn't seem like a good way. There you go. You need somebody to say that you need a respirator. If only we had somebody here who could do that.
Dave's just like, yeah, that sounds bad. Maybe don't do that today. Do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, cool.
Take a break. Play some Dragon Age.
He lets me off the hook. Ooh, Dragon Age.
Solar punk advertising? I'll write that down as a note if I gotta find out what that means.
Alright, what is solar punk?
Damn it, Snoopy. Stay where you're put.
This is what he's yelling at.
Snoopy.
Snoopy! Snoopy is old.
He's as old as his house.
And he works. He's slow though. What happened?
I don't know. He's old. When you get old, you get slow. Old Snoops is like 60 years old. Matt turns the other way.
I might have broken him.
Don't break Snoopy.
Oh, there we go.
We can't show you I'm walking, unfortunately.
It's the optimistic future art instead of dystopian. So it's
Oh.
more like Disney versus what we all feel today. Got it. Is that a thing you can do, Dave?
That's what I kind of try and do most of the time. Don't always succeed, but I try.
It's kind of like your thing you did with the advertisement for the Apollo rocket.
Yeah.
She got her spicy ranch. She's like, I don't need you anymore. Well, we've been trying to think, like, what the rest of the year looks like for us. Because I think we're getting to a point where it's starting to look like it's going to be unlikely to have shows, at least until late fall.
Here comes the existential dread.
No, like, so we're just trying to think, like, I've been trying to, I say we, but really it's me. I'm trying to kind of plan, like, what kind of things we want to be creating, what kind of things we want to be spending our time on. That's kind of my job. Like, you don't really like the planning thing.
I really don't.
No. But I will throw this out. If there's some stuff you've been like, well, why hasn't Dane drawn this? And you've got some specific ideas.
I got time.
Well, and send him a line, because, you know, that works.
You planning exactly. I like to wing it. Get it? Wing it.
Mm-hmm.
See, because the planes.
Yep.
Yeah, see, wing it. I feel like she didn't appreciate that very much.
Oh, dad jokes. Do you need a cool wife full of plan stuff for you? I mean, I don't know where you find the cool part, but
You're pretty cool.
sweet. Now, Dane's favorite thing is to quote-unquote let me plan and then just not follow the plan.
Plans of a suckers.
So I'll be like, hey, do you want to help with this plan? And be like, no, I'll just let you do it. Because I'm not going to follow it anyway.
I do let you do it, though. It's not like I'm stopping you.
I mean, I think depending on the kind of person you are, you might need an assistant both when you're established and starting out. He's super generous about letting me plan things. But honestly, that's why now's a good time. Like, if there's some stuff you want to see, just send him a line, because
Yeah.
if it clicks that thing in his head, you're very likely to see it sooner rather than later.
Well, like she said, this is a request by a friend of ours in Oregon. Like, I probably wouldn't have drawn this if they hadn't requested it.
Do you have an idea for colors and stuff?
Not yet.
You're just gonna wing it.
Winging it.
A book of dinosaurs that's like the scientists.
Ooh, that'd be neat.
And you've got a couple pieces. Oscar Wolf, have you seen his dinosaur pieces that he's done in the square style?
I could pull one up.
You could pull one up.
What?
So it's not like completely off base. He started doing some stuff in that. He'd need to do quite a few more.
Which one? This one. See that came up.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like that guy. I love that guy because he looks so irritated about that other dude just on his horn. He always makes me smile.
I got that one. I've got a few others.
We have talked about doing some more books.
Yeah. Stegosaurus is on the list. I haven't done them yet, obviously.
That
And a
guy.
Kylosaur.
Where's that one that looks into your soul? The raptor?
That's next.
Check out this dude. He's like looking into your soul. So then you need to do an album cover series. I do. That would be
Album
amazing.
cover series? Of what?
The random album names
Oh,
we come up with.
The names that we know. Got it.
Well, I think we can all do them. Like, that's part of the fun. No, the Brontosaurus is back. Brontosaurus is my favorite, and Dane used to make fun of me all the time because he was like, ha ha, there was no such thing, they fucked it up, blah, 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 there's no Brontosaurus. Your favorite dinosaur doesn't exist. But then they brought it back, and so now I'm like, Dane, where's my Brontosaurus? And he won't draw it for me, and I think it's because he's just mad that they brought it back and he can't tease me about it anymore. See, he makes that face, but he hasn't drawn me a Brontosaurus. Totally hasn't.
Correlation doesn't equal causation.
It does this time.
It doesn't.
It does.
It really doesn't.
I want my Brontosaurus.
Most of them are just trying to figure out how to fit a Brontosaurus in that little square.
Just make it his head.
Yeah.
It's just. Wow. I love all the TV shows with dinosaurs. Like the ones that are good, right? Like the science ones, but then they try to do noises for the dinosaurs. And all of them just use elk. Like they're all just elk calls.
Yeah.
And some of them are just like elk calls put through a soundboard, but it's all just elk calls. And I'm like, that's fair. Elk sound really effed up.
But they're like elk mixed with elephants.
Those weird, like, whistling, grunting noises.
That is a whole different book.
Ooh, horsetail ferns. Yeah, mixing some
Those will
stuff.
fit.
So Dean did a really cool dinosaur piece like years ago that was big, and it was a whole like environment, and he sent it to a friend of ours that does dinosaurs for a living. Like she actually gets him out of the rock, and
She's a paleontologist.
Thank you.
Is
the word was gone. It was gone, and I was just gonna get there somehow. But anyway, and she sent it back. She's like, "This is really nice," but there was no such thing as grass then, Dane. You had to take all the grass out, and he had grass everywhere. He was like,
Yeah.
She was like, "No, it's really nice, but you can't have grass."
So if you want it to be accurate, you have to kill the grass. I'm like, but what am I going to do in the background then?
She's like, "Have you heard of other plants that aren't grass?"
Sparkly rock doctor. I'm going to call her that next time I see her.
So, be okay with it. Brontosaurus in bikini.
I just like the idea of a Tyrannosaurus that like honks like a goose.
I hope it was all on one layer too, but I bet it wasn't. I bet he snuck it in different layers just to make it harder on himself.
Well, and you know the way Illustrator works, everything is its own layer.
Ooh, tree-sized horsetail ferns.
Rock lobster. I think she'd be okay with being called a rock lobster.
Probably. No, she did us a huge favor. Like, she worked at a museum in Denver years ago, and she gave us a tour. So we got to go back and actually see the rocks that they were cutting the
Matrix.
Thank you. That they were slowly getting all of the bones out of. But my dad and my stepmom were visiting us at that point. And so they got to go on the tour. And I think that was the first time that my dad, thought we were... I don't know, special's the wrong word, but, he'd never been on a tour at the back of a museum like that. And the idea that, someone wanted to do that for us based on Dane's art, suddenly he was like, oh, maybe you guys can draw. Maybe you can do things. We're like, yes, we're fancy.
I got to touch a dinosaur.
You did get to touch a dinosaur.
We also got to see a dinosaur that they hadn't described to science yet. They just discovered it. And so I was told that I'm not allowed to do anything art-wise with it or take any pictures until after they published it. And I was like,
She's like, because technically if you put up a picture on Instagram, it's published, and then somebody could steal it from us. And I was like, man, the world of paleontology is very cutthroat.
It is.
It turns out. But anyway, we got to go on a tour of the back end of the museum, and it was amazing, and it was so cool. And also, my dad decided at that point that we might be a little bit fancy. You called your coworker at the Flames a fake rock doctor. Geophysics degree. You put some water horsetails in the pond and they didn't die. Exactly, vindication. No, that was the... So, my dad really doesn't understand what we do. Really, really doesn't understand.
I understand what we do most of the time.
But the first time he saw us do a show was in Denver. And he stood there for an hour on the first day and was like, they just gave you money for that. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, no, actually, they just gave you money. They bought multiple things. They gave you real money. And I was like, well, they weren't going to give me Monopoly money. I wouldn't let them have the stuff. And he was like, no, but people are paying you for this stuff. And I was like,
that's how commerce works.
Yeah. Dad, how did you think I was... How did you think we were paying our bills? But he was so surprised. He just couldn't comprehend that people would go to a room and just, buy art like that, I guess. Or at least our art. I don't know. He just kept repeating it over and over. He was just very surprised.
Only in Canada. Because it turns out they don't have Canadian Tire down here.
Yeah, it's not worth a whole lot down here, unfortunately.
Boo.
It's the Canadian Superstore.
Yeah, a lot of people don't consider art real work. Which is why you never get doctors who get asked if they can get work for free.
Oh, I bet they do. I feel like just about anybody gets told they should work for free.
How many times do you think a doctor gets told, just do the surgery for me and I'll put you on my Instagram?
By family, all the goddamn time. I guarantee. Well, like, hey, can I just come in and have you prescribe a thing for me? Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, people want to believe that it's not, work, but man, we sure, like, use a lot of it. You think some fancy air should work?
It's
You're
true.
like, oh, are you really a money genius?
Yeah.
Come prove yourself, sir.
Or ma'am. Could be either.
I just like saying sir.
That's fine.
Ma'am sounds dumb.
Miss Financier.
Ms. Like, that's just weird. I just think they should wear a top hat, and then if you're wearing a top hat, you should get to be called sir.
I'm all about equal opportunity, top hat wearing.
A lot of people do actually think that. That's actually a thing it shows. It's hilarious. People come up, try to sell us things. They'll be like their printers or their whatever thing they're trying to sell to us, and they'll start trying to rattle off a bunch of numbers to Dane. And
Yeah.
Dane will be like, "This is hilarious. Don't talk to me about numbers." My wife does all that. And I'll try to get information, and I'll be like, oh, like, what's your minimums, or what's, and they'll just keep talking to Dane and ignoring me, and it's like, you guys aren't smart.
They're not smart.
A lot of people have a really hard time. Which is funny because, especially in the art world, there's a lot of partnerships where people have clearly defined, or some, are not clearly defined, but they have different jobs and different things they're good at. And I've never heard Dane promise anyone that he was good at numbers.
Nope.
Like, ever. You want to make you rich? I mean, it sounds like a good way to do that is to be in Congress. We were watching a thing. There's a what's that YouTube thing called with the lawyer?
Oh, Legal Eagle.
Legal Eagle. He's really awesome. Highly recommend if you're interested. He likes to watch movies and then like count up the number of different ways people will be arrested or sued or go to jail.
His Tiger King episode was fun.
Oh, both of them. He's just like, what the fuck is wrong with my life? But he was talking about, like, I didn't realize that it was just recently that they made rules saying Congress couldn't actually, and members of Congress couldn't actually control their own stock market things based on their insider knowledge. Like, they're basically like, insider trading doesn't exist for Congress people. And they all got super wealthy on it. And I was like, what? You tried to convince your sister to be the financial brains behind your Genius Cafe game store or arcade oddity store, but she refused. Did she refuse because you couldn't afford to pay her what she needed to be paid to eat? Or did she not want to be the financial brains?
I mean, technicalities.
Like, I wish I could afford to pay my sister to come and, like, organize us.
Yeah.
She'd make us work real hard, though.
Sure.
But we'd be amazing. So you're saying maybe she knows you a little too well to be easily convinced? I mean, that also sounds fair. I feel like our sisters should talk. Of course, now that my sister works for Google, I don't know that I will ever lure her away.
You're definitely not competing with the Google money.
No.
Especially right now.
So we have talked about doing, to go back to that earlier subject, we have talked about doing some more books. That's a matter of, like, going back to the Kickstarter, obviously, because, but also trying to figure out how things are working now in terms of getting things printed and shipped. So there's some informational stuff there. I don't know if y'all are signed up to our newsletter or not.
Newsletter.
I do want to do. Dean's done a couple of Zoom backgrounds, and he put it up for free at our last newsletter. He's talked about doing some more of those.
I have. What? Doesn't sound like me.
Yeah. I don't know, like, subject matter, I really like the idea of doing those positive retro future signs.
Yeah.
That sounds fun. I can make you very beef. And I'll help you leave Google. I don't know if she'll get tired of Google or not. She just started, and they lured her away from Adobe. So I don't know if she's going to get tired. And she, like, before Adobe, she worked at another tech place.
She
That
seems to like that.
that I hadn't heard of. Which doesn't mean that it's not a big deal. Like, I've heard of like 5 tech places ever. So yeah, I don't know. Shipping does seem like a nightmare right now. Like, we're hearing just in the packages that we ship, like, sometimes people get them right away, like they get them as fast as they would have before, and then sometimes people aren't getting them for weeks. So I think that the post office is in a lot of turmoil. I would assume that it's going to be, that it's also, like, if you're doing books, which means that you're doing a pallet or more, and it's coming on a boat, I would assume it's also terrible and worse than normal, and it's never been great. You can get lucky or not, but I mean... Yeah, so that worries me. I mean, we're going to have to do some research on that and really make sure we're comfortable with a printer. So in the past, Kickstarter worked pretty well. I think it was pretty smooth. I definitely think there's a few things that I wish, like I wish that Kickstarter didn't include shipping in your goal, because it would make it a lot easier, I think, to set a goal and do international shipping with it. It's a lot of stress, but I mean, it works. And we haven't had, like, unlike some other situations, like our money's always come through. It takes a couple weeks. Like, people don't realize, they're like, oh, your Kickstarter's done. Like, are you sending stuff? And first of all, if I'm sending books, no, you're not getting them a couple weeks after. But also, like, when Kickstarter goes through, it can take several weeks to see any of your funds. Spaghetti Western Zoom background. That could be awesome. That's a great idea. Write that down. That'd be a fun 12 by 36 in general. Thank you. You have a package that was scanned.
Where's Mississauga?
I was going to say, I don't know how to say that.
Mississauga?
You're guessing 2021. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's...
Yeah, like... Well, and we're hearing, too, on a lot of the Facebook forums and stuff, people are having trouble. Things will get marked shipped, and then they'll sit. One of the problems on the artist side that people were having is that stuff was getting shoved to the side and not scanned at their local post office. I think our post person's pretty good. Knock on wood, we haven't had any of those problems, but like, once he takes it in and it gets put in the system, like,
who knows?
Yeah, so your hair dye never got scanned through it. And see that we're having issues like that, I think. And I think people are just so overworked. Like, somebody had, I don't know if it was a pre-order or a Kickstarter, but they mailed like 100 packages, and like 80 of them never got scanned. And they were super concerned about it. But yeah, it's just, but you get the sense that like somebody picked them up and then they were supposed to, but they just somehow got shuffled in, but some of them got scanned and some did. Like, it's just,
it's shenanigans.
Right. So there's that to deal with. Although if we're dealing with a book, like getting a book printed in and dealt with, like, that's at least a 3-month process.
At the best of times.
Right. So it's not like it's going to be thrown out into the thing anytime soon.
Into the thing.
You will pay some amount of fine American cash dollars for a Spaghetti Western Zoom background. See, I've been suggesting to Dane that he put the other two up that he's done so far up on Gumroad for Pay What You Want.
Okay.
So maybe that's an idea. I also think that pieces of some of his old prints would work kind of nicely. Like, I think we need a space background. Just because why shouldn't people be able to look like they're just hanging out in space?
Hang out on Pluto.
Yeah, on Pluto, or chillaxing with the Mars rovers. You know, what have you.
As one does.
Right. A Star Trek bridge one.
I think they did that, didn't they? Didn't actual Star Trek do that?
I feel like they did.
They did, and they're really missing out.
They're super dumb if they didn't. Yeah, like... Well, and stuff always takes longer than you think it would. Like our last order of books, we didn't do... Like, it wasn't a Kickstarter, it was just an order. But, they actually came in early. Like, the printer just got them done ahead of time. And they took a week less than we thought they would.
Luckily.
On the shipping side. So they were actually in several weeks early. But then... there's more of these in the thing if you want them. Would you start some coffee? You're awesome. Thank you so much. But then the government shut down, and so they sat on a ship and didn't, because they can't go through customs, right? So they sat on a ship for 2 or 3 weeks. Yay! Right, so you just don't know. Like, if we'd lived in Seattle, we probably could have gone and, like, waved at the ship. I mean, probably not. They probably wouldn't have let us get that close, but... I don't do Zoom either, but I think it would be fun to look like you're in the captain's chair. I think it'd be fun to look like you've got space out your window, and you've got various known space machines out your window, like behind you. That could be fun. Like, oh, we have the Enterprise behind us, or what have you. I mean, it just seems more interesting than actually being like our house. I say, as you all can see, Dane's office. So space background, retro futuristic thing. Alright. He's been working too. Like, I don't know if we'll ever show it to anybody, but I wrote a thing, gosh, years ago, and he actually has started working on some of that too. So, yeah, actual comic pages and stuff, which is crazy. So someday, that might get out there and be seen. And I think I'd like to see, because we did the scientist book, and I'd like to see a volume 2 of that happen at some point, because there's so many more scientists to do. And I feel like those are fun, positive things, like even when we're dealing with past scientists. Like, that feels hopeful to me. Just, you know, look, the humans, real humans, thought of this cool stuff and saved thousands of lives and made the world better and came up with this treatment or what, you know, this medicine or cars that run cleaner, whatever it is, just like humans did this thing and it's great. Or what we could do in the future. No wonder I was ready for coffee. It's 10 p.m. I'm hearing grinding beans. I don't think you guys... Can you guys hear that? It is optimistic. You know, like... It's... One of the things that's really helped me is to read some of this stuff and just remember that, you know, like, whatever situation we're in right now, like, human beings have managed some pretty cool shit before. And there's no reason we can't do it again. Like, whatever problem we're facing, like, there's no reason we can't fix it. We just need to decide to do it. This is a huge hat, and I didn't intend for it to be this huge.
Coffee started.
Awesome, thank you. Those are both for you.
Hey, both for me. What am I missing?
A zoom background that makes it look like there's a window, like you're on a spaceship, and there's a window with the space or known spaceships behind you.
That'll be fun.
Mm-hmm. This is a little big. That's probably fine. Also, scientists are optimistic.
Are they?
I mean,
Say.
celebrating them is optimistic.
Okay, I was going to say, I know a lot of scientists. I don't think they would consider themselves optimistic.
You're like, maybe not. Maybe not. Basically, we were trying to avoid last stream's existential dread.
That's fair.
Right. Oh, into the thing.
Into the thing.
I feel like this is a way bigger hat than intended.
Giant hats for giant heads.
Let me see this on you.
Giant heads are mine.
I mean, oh, it fits you.
Boom.
That's way too big. Oh, I like those colors.
See, I'm not real sure about those colors yet.
Well, I'm not real sure. Like,
I'm not sure about the flesh tone airplane. So,
I wasn't sure about the gold with the flesh tone.
I'm recoloring, so the blue's gone away and the gold is going away.
So,
I'm trying out new things.
Okay.
You caught me in the middle of a thing because you stopped paying attention for a second.
Yeah, exactly. Anytime you fail for, like, you try a million things and try to figure stuff out and it keeps failing, you've definitely got to be an optimist at that point. Exactly right. How much? Oh, there's still more of this. Thank you. It looks like it's super light. I kind of like it. It's just huge, and it was meant for my sister. And not Dane. So yeah, probably gonna like take it down and start again. I don't know. I assume she'd be okay with these colors.
Well, we'll find
Colors
out.
are nice. You don't need another hat.
I don't. I have lots of hats.
I'm like looking at Dane like, you don't need another hat. Okay, now I get to make this. Okay.
You get to make another mess.
Fair. It's Yeah, I think, like, I don't know about y'all, but I think that it's been really nice to have, like, I've been looking for optimistic stuff. Like, that's been where my brain's been at.
Oh, so basically it was resetting your location every time you looked at it sideways. Got it.
Nice.
I like these colors better, and I like the blue and the yellow.
That is like a Batman plane. Isn't that, guys? Like, that seems like it's 60s Batman.
60s Batman is blue and gray. I have that problem with my phone. My phone, for whatever reason, when I'm trying to shop at like the Home Depot or whatever, will route me to a store in Chicago. Not enough medium blue. Well, this is a World War II plane. This is a Stuka dive bomber. It was one of the German planes. So.
Yep. Well, that's a thing that just happened.
I don't know, I hate it.
So, definitely part of the air battles over maybe the Atlantic?
Yeah, I'm about to say less over the
Pacific.
Yeah. More over the Britain.
Battle of Britain. And across Europe.
Is it weird that I don't put that on the dark color there?
It's not weird, but I don't like not being able to see the rest of the plane wings. Like, it makes sense, especially if you then played with some lighting, so that it looked very much like if you played up the Battle of Britain part of it. But I want to see the wings, because the wings were part of what made it cool, that V shape. I have feelings.
You say you have feelings or failings?
I said feelings, but thanks. Now I'm going to worry about my feelings for a while. I don't know, like, my only concern with doing a big thing, because we've talked about doing some more Kickstarters, my only concern is I would assume and hope that people are understanding and know that there's a lot of questions about shipping and that kind of thing right now. More so than normal, even. But that would be my concern. Like, are people going to be understanding about it? Are they going to understand that there are a lot of things that are out of anyone's control? I kind of want to do some enamel pens too.
Yeah, I do too. Just gotta figure out what we want to do with them. No.
Ball of yarn. Hi. Hi. You are just not going to let me see that wing, are you?
I don't know yet.
You're like, nope. You don't get the wing.
We'll see. We'll see if we get to see it.
But I mean, at least things are opening. Like the factories and stuff are coming back, and people are getting caught up that way. I know earlier this year, a lot of people had a lot of stuff that was outstanding.
Outstanding.
I don't think they meant it that way either.
They were very excited.
Well, so. What kind of stuff are y'all looking forward to in terms of entertainment?
Have fun.
What's happening?
Go
Bye, Aaron.
Have fun with your annoying your children.
Instead of them sitting. But ching. Like, what are you all looking forward to in terms of like art, entertainment, that kind of stuff? Because I don't know about y'all, but I'm not going to be sitting in a movie theater anytime soon. Yeah. I feel like that's dad joke level genius, by the way. Which is a special kind of genius. You're gonna watch Twitch streams and pretend you have friends. Oh. I feel like... I don't know. It is getting weird. Like, I'm not an overly in-person social person, and I'm missing my social connections. I will give you that.
Yeah, I haven't been to a movie theater in a while.
Well, I just meant, like, what are we, like, I'm kind of excited. I still think CD Projekt Red has a video game coming out that I'm kind of excited for. I feel like it got delayed.
It did.
But, you know, such is life. Every video game I look forward to gets delayed. Usually a la BioWare, but whatever. If it makes it better, then you should probably wait. I'll admit I have to be really in the mood to watch something with subtitles, because I usually am doing something with my hands. You know, I'm usually crocheting or something, and so subtitles can be a thing. Like, I read pretty fast, but also there's a lot of places that put subtitles up, and they don't seem to understand things like, please don't put white subtitles across light-colored screens, because I can't read that. And also, why is the font so tiny? So that's starting to look kind of cool.
It's almost like I kind of know what I'm doing.
Almost, man. You're gonna fool people and everything. Seems unfriendly almost. Are you thinking about paper yet? Because I'm immediately thinking the smooth paper. And I'm going to ask you a lot of questions when you just shove half one of those in your mouth.
Yep.
Talk to me, Dane.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's nice. a sheet on the fence and get a projector that hooks up. That would be awesome. I feel like maybe our neighbors wouldn't appreciate our sense of movies, though.
Put them on the shed. In the back of the shed.
You think?
Well, we couldn't put them up on the fence. Our fence isn't tall enough.
Well, we could put them on the fence that's in the backyard.
I mean, that's true.
Neighbor behind would probably complain that there was lights shining in. What the heck with him? You know,
you wouldn't pirate a car, as
I
they say at the
mean,
movie theater.
Do they say that at the movie theater?
In the pre-roll. I'm like, you don't know a lot of people I know.
Oh man.
You wouldn't download a bear.
I mean, that's fair. I definitely would not download a bear. Dane totally wouldn't download a bear because
Digital bears are terrifying.
Right.
I like real bears.
Digital bears did things to him.
They did. Unspeakable things. I've been expounding on the things the bears did to me in our game streams. Dragon Age bears, specifically. How to be killed by bears? I like the idea of needing a technique for making that work. Beyond going to the woods and smell like meat.
Is that like a tender thing?
It is now.
I mean, I wouldn't really know. I'm too old for tender.
Also too married.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I got married before tender existed.
I'm not an expert, but from what I gather, you're not missing out on much.
So, somebody in my Facebook keeps putting up messages she gets from dudes, and I'm just like,
Oh,
dudes, seriously, silly. Like, oh, why?
I bet it was.
Yeah. Polar bears look really nice and cool, like at the zoo.
Behind a cage.
Yeah.
Or on TV, where I can't see them and they can't see me.
Yes.
That's the best reason to have an OK Cupid, I think.
I couldn't handle it. Like, she just gets. My one friend just gets dumb shit, and I'm just like, why? Why though? Why is that a thing? Like, you took all the time it takes to, like, scroll through and click on someone and type this out. Like, why? Yeah, my sister was like that. My sister did online dating, and one of her rules was if you ask her a question that was answered in her profile, then she didn't have time for you.
Which I feel like is fair.
I mean, yeah. Her other thing was like, if your way to try to start a conversation with me is "Hey," I'm gonna ignore that because that's not a conversation starter. It's like, okay.
Or "Hey girl" or "Hey baby."
I'm just glad I'm old enough to have missed all that.
I am too.
It seems like it was hard and work and trouble. Uh-oh. What'd you do this time, Ekate? Yep.
It's nice that it's asking me, though. It's not just automatically
putting you in timeout.
Putting you in timeout and deleting all of your comments. We've gotten that part. Actually, it was having a problem with asexual. We're starting to figure out this whole moderator thing.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah.
Don't call me Shirley.
It's always time room for an airplane joke. Especially when I'm drawing airplanes.
It's better when you're drawing airplanes. It's pertinent.
Pertinent.
It's a fun word to say.
It is.
So did we know, like I just saw some basic stuff in my Facebook feed. Do we know what happened in LA with the explosions?
This is now the first I've heard of this, so no.
Okay.
Does anybody else know what she's talking about? Because now I'm lost.
There were explosions, and a bunch of firefighters had to fight the fire. And I imagine it's pretty freaking hot in LA right now anyway. But, like, apparently it was bad enough that, like, one of the fire trucks, their seats started on fire because they were parked too close to the heat.
Yikes.
And a bunch of guys were wounded, and their helmets, some of their helmets melted. Which, by the way, they're definitely not supposed to do.
Yeah.
Like, that's definitely not a thing. Yeah. I haven't heard either. Like,
I now know more about it than I did, like, 2 minutes ago.
Sounds like a real bad situation, so I'll have to go look it up later.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just the heat from that, like, I mean, we're going to see a bunch of injuries, but if their helmets are melting, that's a real bad sign.
I feel like it's fair to say.
Apparently, they had at least 11 injuries.
Yikes.
Yeah. You did something to your window and it's filling the full screen, but you can't figure out how to make it small again, and escape isn't working. I don't know what to tell you. Oh no, you Googled that it seems to have happened in a cannabis oil plant.
Huh.
Oh no, that's...
Now I know that cannabis oil is crazy flammable.
I don't know that you know that.
I know it now.
Do you know now?
I don't know why you didn't know
Thank you for Googling. Like,
Yeah.
the article I saw earlier said that there were explosions, but at this point they weren't even sure that the explosions were actually where the fire was.
that. See?
F11. What do you think? Make it big so everybody else can see it, like, decent size, but...
Not sure about the text being yellow.
I actually kind of liked the text being yellow.
Okay.
I'm not sure about the gray line there, where the band and the thing match. I feel like they either shouldn't touch or they should touch all the way. Like, I don't know. That's weird. They're not even. Yeah, I feel like that curves more than the plane does, but...
Are you an expert on this plane?
No, meaning I feel like it curved more here than it did down there. But...
It's very tricky.
But I also just thought you could pull it away and not have it go all the way to the bottom neck. Also, those aren't even. You got one of those things happening. I forget what that's called.
Overlap.
Are you going to put any air... is it going to be Battle of Britain or is it somewhere else?
I wasn't going to put any background on it. Like I said, I don't know what else you want.
I mean, if you're Battle of Britain, you could put air barrage balloons. Blur, blur. But I like that. I think it's nice.
I have to go look and find out what the hell an air
Math is tough, and Oscar Wolf likes how moody it is.
Yay, moody.
It's very moody. I do like that you've made the planes now, like, you can actually see the wings. The planes. The wings.
I've made the planes.
Language is hard.
Oh, the big helium balloons? That might be fun.
Yeah, just like black in the distance a little bit off to the... I don't know. It might be too much. Like, maybe this is all you need.
Might be too much. Nobody knows. It's a secret.
Because you don't currently have, like, any clouds or...
I was trying to make it match the other one I did.
Fair. But, you know,
Of a type.
each one is its separate story, right?
Of a set.
Okay,
I might
well,
say.
fine. Fine. Also, by the way, thank you for spelling my name right.
Who did that? Oh.
Oscar Wolf.
Hover over the screen in the bottom right corner. What's it? Oh, okay. I'm catching up on the chat. I'm like, what are we talking about? Moody plane is moody.
Did they leave the little wheels?
Yeah.
The back wheel down and everything? Huh.
When they were
It's easy to do.
I do it a lot.
Like, I try not to complain when people use the wrong one, but it's, it's nice when people
It's always time for some mudslide ice cream.
Oh
I
my gosh.
miss mudslide ice cream so much.
That sounds good.
We don't have Tillamook here. We have Brahms, which is fine, but it's not as good.
I don't know. I really like their vanilla ice cream. It's been really good.
But it's not like Tillamook.
Have we tried their mudslide?
I don't think they have a mudslide.
They have a lot of ice cream.
They do.
I mean, you do have to go in.
I do have to go in.
So here's the thing. Brahms is attached, like it's got a little grocery section where you can get milk and ice cream and stuff like that, but then it's attached to like a restaurant, and they have, which has a, and they sell like burgers and fries and shakes and stuff, and they have a drive-through, and here's what they won't do. You can't go through the drive-through and order like a gallon of ice cream or a gallon of milk, and I feel like you should.
I feel like I should too.
You're being told it's perfect. I don't know if we're talking about the piece or the mudslide ice cream. Maybe both.
Whiskey.
That's better, yes. Yeah, dried ice shipping would be quite the thing. And it'd probably sit in a warehouse for some reason. It'd be one of those packages that got lost. So, like, by the time we got it, we'd be like, well, it was ice cream.
Now it's milkshakes.
3 weeks ago. Homemade Kahlua. What? Well, that sounds indecent.
Indecent.
Oh, I skipped one.
She skipped one. Burn it all down.
I mean, I already tore half the hat out. It's fine.
Now we gotta go throw it in the fire pit.
We're not throwing it in the fire pit, although it would burn. It's cotton.
Ooh, that's a good question. I do wonder. That's a good question about the baby baby chick shipping. There, blah, say that 3 times fast.
I would assume that if the package is peeping at you, you're less likely to throw it in a closet and forget about it. But that's just an assumption that I've made, so it might not be true.
I don't know. We got that one lady on our neighborhood Facebook group who is a postal worker. I bet she just chucks peeping check packages into a closet.
I don't know. She doesn't seem that terrible, does she?
I don't know, sometimes.
The guy is. I don't like the dude. I blocked like 2 of those dudes. Just because I don't want to see their shit. Never blocked anybody on Facebook before, but now I'm learning who my neighbors are and I don't want to, so they're blocked. Or you do not to date Satan. Which reminds me, Oscar Wolf, have you gotten? Did you get your last postcard with the sketch on it? I'm wondering how slow the mail is. Not yet. Okay, so it's real slow then. Good. Good.
Now we know. And knowing it's half bad.
I mean, I do wonder sometimes. We're just, throwing things out into the postal waters, and I'm just like, well, I'm sure it'll be fine. Oh, yikes. It might have been. They had an outbreak in the Calgary Post Center.
That is, as they say, not good.
Yeah. Are y'all having the same problems with the meat packing that we've been having? You have two other things than the postcard that seem like they're in limbo. I mean, it's possible. It's entirely possible. I'm making this. Okay. Hopefully this is going to be smaller. We'll see. We'll see if I manage to make it smaller.
Sure.
Shh. I don't need that kind of, I don't know.
Realism?
Yeah, probably. Negativity. On this stream, Dane. Yeah. Yeah, we've got, I think they had like over 400 cases last I looked at a pork plant in Missouri, in my hometown. But it's cool. Missouri's opening up. It's fine. Everything's fine.
I don't think it's fine.
Yeah, I was wondering because you all have the meat too, like we do. That sounds funny.
You have the meat.
But like, you know
You
what
are
I mean.
Arby's. You have the meat.
Alberta's known for the meat, like the same way, like steaks and stuff. I remember I was there.
Y'all are known for the situation. Yes.
Oh my gosh, the meat situation. Write that down. That is a great band name. Or album name. Like what kind of music? Like that's the album that the band goes completely off the tracks. They decided to do something completely different.
It's just it's basically just a Grateful Dead cover band. Just a jam band.
Oh my god. Alright, I'm back.
No.
My mid-century cup.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you're an art guy. What's being talked about? What?
Where it'll slap the red and the yellow and like.
Oh, so like a slightly offset print, like it was done on silk screen that was slightly off center, like offset.
Sounds more like
Like
web press printing where the plates are offset. Or what's it called? Out of register.
Like she wants something out of register. That one's really out of register. Look at that shit.
What is she try? Is she trying to make something or? Because place I get a lot of my brushes and stuff just came up with a new coloring bundle type thing that does that kind of effect.
What? Retro Supply.
Yeah.
You like a lot of their stuff.
I do like a lot of their stuff. They make good stuff for what I do.
Heard it here, folks.
Not sponsored.
Right? Totally not sponsored.
I pay for every damn thing I get from them, which is a lot. Although, hey, Dustin, if you're out there and listening, give me free stuff. I just gave you a plug.
Give me. No, man. No, that's the good stuff. That's worth paying for.
It is.
Oh my gosh.
I think this is done for now.
Alright.
Yeah, they've got a few All the Things packages that they put up every so often.
So, like the Joy Division total album cover. Go look that up and see what it would be. Because I don't know what that means.
Me neither. Oh, yeah, pretty much exactly like that.
Yep.
I am cheap and broke. I will use it, but yeah, I feel you.
Dean likes to wait until they've got sales,
Which she does periodically.
and then he'll get stacks of stuff. But also that would be a like, yay, we just had a successful show.
Yeah.
We're gonna party and go buy some brushes. Because we're exciting folks here.
We know how to live high on a hog.
Oh yeah. Alright, you feel good about it?
I feel pretty good about it. There's probably some tweaks I'm going to do later, just because that's what I do.
Well, so would you only have the cross on the one wing and not the other?
I think because of the way the wing is curved, you would actually be able to see it on this one.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay.
I couldn't in the reference photo, though. So.
I actually like the junker, I like the word being in the yellow.
What do you think, yellow or gray, y'all?
Personally. Can you put up 2 and let's look at the difference? Come on, Dane, do extra work. Copy the entire thing and then make a change. Just for me.
Shadow. Oh, yellow drop shadow. Okay. Let's see what that looks like.
The other one definitely didn't have a drop shadow.
It did not. But now I'm curious. Yeah, it didn't. And I think that makes it a little hard to read.
It's got a cool effect, though.
It does.
That's a thing to remember with that font for something else, because that's a really cool effect with that font. Okay, I feel like that pops the other yellows, but it is very bright.
I worry about it being distracting.
Oscar says no, definitely gray. Disagreeing with me. What about this, though? What about this cream color? I definitely don't like the dark.
Yeah, it's too hard to read.
You don't like the cream either? I'm over here like, I like the cream better than the gray.
I personally prefer the gray. Yeah, I'm with Oscar Wolf.
Well, you're the artist.
Turns out. It'll do, I guess. Perfect. That's exactly what I'm going for.
Have you saved?
No. What is that? Saving. Saving. You'll save it eventually. My computer's so slow now.
Well, because you're also running a Twitch stream.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe replicate the pattern of a dragon.
That is a pain. I did that for a piece not too long ago, or a couple years ago, actually. I think that's actually on my YouTube channel, where I drew a dragonfly. Man, those things are hard to draw. It's one of the few I made a video of back in those days.
Got a lot more videos now, yeah? Are you putting them up?
I should probably remember to put some of them up.
On YouTube?
Yeah. Like, some of them are up. I haven't put a lot of them up.
Alright. Well, you're done.
I am done.
And it's 10:45.
It is 10:45. Aw, that's cute.
Aw. So...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely ice cream time. So next... It's Sunday, right?
It's Sunday.
So Wednesday we'll be doing
We don't suggest a sketch again, so
right.
Write your ideas and your existential dread.
Maybe just the ideas and not the dread. Let's avoid the dread. Woo Wednesday, exactly. Come ready to tell Dane what to draw. Yeah.
It's a package, you see.
There you go. Unfortunately. It feels like maybe it is. Also, we will have, maybe, Dane and I have been trying to plan, and by that I mean I've been trying to plan, and Dane has been frolicking around and not planning. Sometimes for real frolicking, and sometimes just in his mind. Like, sometimes I look over while we're planning, and I can tell by his eyes that in his own brain he's just frolicking around the daisies. Yeah, it's very accurate. So we've been talking about Dane doing another thing where he just does, like, plays music and that's gotta be man, that's distracting me. That looks so cool. I haven't seen it on someone else. It'd be small for your face, though.
Yeah, it is.
Like, you'd need a much bigger size for you. Okay.
That clown music is not going to listen to itself, it's true.
Totally.
And it's constantly on a loop in my head, so I may as well stop and listen to it.
Great. But we've been thinking about doing another stream during the day, if that's a thing anybody's interested in, or earlier.
Where I just work and play music, and Ashley goes and does other things.
Right.
Basically, Ashley has better things to do than sit here and watch me work.
Well, I would probably watch the stream, but I would work on some other stuff. So, also a question: would it be interesting at all to do? Would anybody be interested in making Dane do suggest a sketch while we're doing a video game, like within that video game thing? Like I could play and you could sketch.
We don't have a way of streaming those.
No, but you could put them up on like Twitter or Instagram.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, if anybody's interested in that, we could probably work something up like that.
So.
Up to y'all. Let us know.
Dane's always willing to do sketches out of Fallout.
It's true.
Like, that's pretty much his thing. So. Anyway. Have a good night.
Yeah, so let us know if any of the things that we were talking about are interesting to y'all. Like, let us know on Twitter, text, however you want to get hold of us.
Yeah, just yell at us for fun. It's fine.
You know how to do it.
We'll talk to you all later. Thank you so much.
Thanks for hanging out.